Good morning, I'm Sunetra Choudhury, National Political Editor of Hindustan Times, bringing you the best stories on Thursday, April 16th. First up, I look at the numbers as they stand. There are now 12,330 cases across the country and 423 people have died. Our top story is perhaps the most urgent crisis facing us all across the country. That's of migrants. And reports are coming in from across the country of them starting to walk, with news coming in of the extended lockdown. A study that's been done by an NGO that also runs a helpline says that migrants from Punjab, Telangana, Odisha, Haryana, they're all moving now because they feel they won't have enough food left for the 20 extra days. In fact, the calls to the helpline, 50% of them say that they only have ration left for a day, and more than 2/3 say that they have not received any ration at all. So perhaps this is something that the government has to look at. The second story that we have for you is what is going to be the economic impact of the extended lockdown and whether areas will benefit from the limited activity that the government's now announced in order to give relief and to boost some of these economic measures. Well, it shows that it is going to have limited impact because most of the economic activity is concentrated in areas with high level of infection. So, for instance, 327 districts are there which have seen no cases at all. But the problem is that these districts account for only 7% of credit, and that's according to the RBI data which was got last year. And there are just 93 districts. 93 districts account for 50% of credit across the country. And in those 93 districts, the cases are doubling every week. So that's the unfortunate truth about the fact that while the government has announced relaxation, the fact is that the relaxations are for non-clamped down, non-cluster areas, those red districts, and most of economic activity is concentrated around those districts. Now, our third story is going to look at exactly which districts are red and how do they go on to become green, or those areas which have relaxed curfew and where there can be limited activity. There are about 170 districts now in the red zone, and states have been informed. For the first time, they've also clarified what a cluster is. So if an area has 15 or more cases, then it gets declared as a cluster by the health department. Now, the government has said that suppose an area is red, in order for it to be a less kind of clamped up area, that is an orange zone, it has to report no new cases for 15 days, and then it has to report no new cases for 15 more days in order to become a green area, which can have all these activities, for instance, manufacturing to start and some factories to start, as long as the people who are working there, laborers who are working there, live on the site. The next story that we have for you is about how authorities in two states are getting impacted. You have Gujarat, where the Chief Minister and his deputy, that's Vijay Rupani and Nitin Patel, have both been now declared to be in quarantine because a Congress MLA and delegation that came to meet him, just hours after that meeting, he tested positive. So that's a warning signal over there. And the other one is how even more health officials, now 94 health officials in Madhya Pradesh, and that's ironic because they're the same department that's tackling COVID as well. So another few health officials in Madhya Pradesh have now been infected by the virus. But finally, we always try and end with some positive news, and the big happy story that's emerging is the fact that the Met Department has now said that we are going to have a normal monsoon. It comes as a huge relief to policymakers because a normal monsoon means that you don't have to tax or you don't have to stress the economy, which has already seen a lot of disruptions due to COVID-19, and also means that you see increased rural spending. If you have a good monsoon, you also see them buying a lot of manufactured goods like TV and perhaps even gold jewelry. So that's the good news coming out. That's all the news that we have for today. Keep tracking HindustanTimes.com.